Shit. So, I just be looking at these articles, I be thinking and shit. And then I did this one, and then I didn't even pay attention, right? But they got this one. Jesus will end the war. Oh man, and it's funny to me because on some real shit, on some real shit, I think obviously religion is crazy, right? It's a control mechanism that was created. But for every solution, it wants you to go outside of yourself to fix it, right? And I know I talk about this on the channel a lot. But when I see shit like this, like now, where I'm at, I automatically go there. Like years ago when I was in it, I would have read this and had like some hope in my heart, or I would have been looking forward to when Jesus is going to end war or something like that. But the more knowledge that I gain and life experience and just trial and error and seeing things from my own point of view instead of letting somebody dictate the knowledge that I know, when I figure it out myself, when I see shit like this, Jesus will end war. Okay. Humans started this shit. Right? And they always want to go out and blame some other shit. Oh, the story of Adam and Eve, and oh, sin happened, and now we're doomed. And they never take responsibility for the shit that they do themselves. And I think that's the problem with religion, is that you look outside for solutions, so you never look inside your heart and fix yourself. So the problem is never, whenever there's a problem, or whenever somebody wants change, they always say, oh, well, maybe if he did this, or maybe if she would do that. But they never look at themselves. And if they were to look at themselves and be like, man, you know what? I could probably do this a little better. And then if Bob would look at himself and be like, man, you know what? Yeah, I could probably do this. And then if Jessica would look at herself and do the same thing, if everybody did that, you could solve a lot of shit. But the moment somebody starts pointing a finger and saying this and that and he and her, it just causes more problems. So the whole time humans are waiting for Jesus to come in war, humans are the ones that started it. Humans are the ones that started the shit. It's like people don't take responsibility for the shit. And I'm talking about the higher ups, the governments, the military. Like, you have to take responsibility for the shit. Humans are so fucking smart and so fucking stupid. And I think that's the yin yang. That's the extreme to each side. Because humans are smart enough to build fucking intelligent ass rockets, airplanes. Like, just the fact that a plane can fly. Like, that shit's wild. Just the fact that a big-ass plane can fly in the air is fucking crazy. But a human mind came up with the technology to do that. A human mind came up with the technology to drop a rocket on specific-ass coordinates. But the human is dumb enough to fall victim to it. Humans are the only ones that can save themselves, and they're never going to realize that because they always look outside of themselves for answers. And it's always something that's going to happen or something, in the future. And they're going to be waiting for this forever. When any change that you want to make in yourself, you can do that now. You don't have to wait because you're in control. I hope that made sense. I hope that made sense. And this shit just fuck, man, this shit is just crazy. Like, humans got themselves into this situation, and it's only up to humans to get themselves out of the situation. But they're so dumb that it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Humans created AI technology, and AI technology is going to be the downfall of humans. Right? They're so smart but so dumb at the same time that they will never take responsibility to get themselves or ourselves out of the situation. The earth has no lack. There's no lack of anything on the earth. There's enough land, there's enough water, there's enough food, there's enough resources. But it took a human to say, you know what? I'm going to take this food or this fruit or whatever, and I'm going to poison it and I'm going to put a dollar sign on it. And now that cuts off a whole population of people that can't get it. Like, who are you to be in charge of the food? Who are you to say you can't live in this spot? I was born on the earth. What gives a human the right to say where I can and can't live? What gives a human the right to take water that's naturally produced from the earth, bottle it up, poison it, and then put a price tag on it, which cuts off a whole population of people that can't get to it? If humans would just leave the shit alone and let it be, everybody would have what they need. And it's fucking crazy because you have to think that that's so fucking common sense. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist, genius-ass motherfucker to figure that out. But yet, the people that are in charge of it are doing the opposite. So then you have to ask yourself, they can't be in those positions for the people. Because if they were for the people, they wouldn't be doing the things that they're doing. So something has to be up. Right? But they put religion and they put all these things in the way so that you never think that. so that you're thinking and you're feeling everything that they're telling you to feel. They don't want you to think for yourself, because when you think for yourself, you come to the conclusion that I just said. And imagine if the majority of people came to that conclusion. And I think more people are. But it's like, there has to be a better way. You have to think that there's a better way. But it's not going to come from Jesus coming out the sky. It's not going to come. It started with the humans. And it's going to be up to the humans to fix it. And that's why I really hope that all these old motherfuckers that are in the politics and in the government, they eventually die. And then we get niggas and motherfuckers that are thinking like this to come up and take positions of power that are really for the people. And after a couple generations of people thinking that way, then the earth can go back to the way it was supposed to be. But it's up to the united consciousness of people, because the united consciousness of people is what runs the whole shit. Damn, I hope I hope that wasn't too deep, and I hope that made sense. Fuck, man. Shit crazy out here. You know, and that's why it's like, I probably won't see that happen in my lifetime. But if I could teach, you know, the younger generations to take accountability for themselves, to think outside the box, to be productive, to be efficient in your own life. If you want to see change, be the change. Don't point a finger at somebody else. If you want peace, you cannot get peace by starting a war. That just doesn't even make sense. So if more of the younger generations know that, then maybe the united consciousness can change over time. And maybe in 500-600 years, the world will look different, you know? I mean, obviously it will, but maybe it'll look different for the better. Because obviously at the rate that it's going right now, it's like look at this picture, you know what I mean? There's no good is going to come. And this is just from people waiting for Jesus to come, which is never going to happen. It's up to the people. When you realize that you are the God in your own life, you are the creator of your own life. You have to be the change. You cannot wait for change outside of you. And everybody's life is different. Everybody is the creator of their own life. You're your own Jesus. You are your own God. And when people start to realize that, they will take the necessary steps to be the best person they can be, to change the united consciousness of the whole. Man. Whew. Let me take a breath. I ain't even ate today. You feel me? I just got some Cheerios, and I'm over here just yapping like a motherfucker. Let me read this shit, see what they talking about. Oh, it's a short little bust down, so I guess I was meant to go on that little rant then. Alright, let's see. It says, while on earth, Jesus showed great love for people, even to the point of sacrificing his life for them. Soon he will again prove his love for people by using his authority as king of God's kingdom to bring an end to wars throughout the earth. And how long have people been waiting for this? Right? People are going to be waiting for this forever. Now, if you are the God in your life and you want change, you don't have to wait, because you make that decision to change. It's up to you. Imagine if everybody did that. That would be Jesus, quote unquote, coming back. Oh, fuck. Man, notice how the Bible describes what Jesus will do. Did that make sense? I hope that made sense. I hope y'all caught on to what I just said. It says, he will rescue the poor who cry for help. Also the lowly one, whoever has no helper. He will have the pity on the lowly and the poor, and the lives of the poor he will save. From oppression and from violence he will rescue them. Okay, let's just take that, right? People are literally waiting for somebody to come out of the sky and to do this. Right? The Jehovah's Witnesses, that's literally what they're waiting for. They take this literally. Nobody's coming out of the sky to do this. The reason why people are poor, the reason why people don't have shit, is because humans decided to box that shit up and to sell it. Nobody gave any human the right to do that. They took that power on themselves and said, we are going to put boundaries on where people can live, and we're going to put prices on where they can live on houses and apartments, and we're going to sell water even though it comes out of the earth, and we're going to sell fruit even though it grows on trees. Nobody has the right to do that. And Jesus isn't going to come out the sky and save it. When you realize that you are Jesus, when you realize that you are God in your own life, if everybody realized that and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to help the poor. I'm going to take the prices off this fruit. I'm going to take the prices off water. I'm going to take the boundaries off of where people can and can't live. Imagine. But if everybody did that, that's Jesus coming back. That would be Jesus, in fact, coming back. But the fact that people are waiting for something outside of themselves, when humans as a whole are what got us in the position to begin with. Yeah. How can we show appreciation for all that Jesus has done and yet will do for us? One way is to learn about the good news of the kingdom of God, which was the message that he preached. Read the article, What is the Kingdom of God? And see, religion is just going to hold this over these people's heads forever, because they're constantly going to be waiting for something to happen. And the generations that are waiting are going to die, and then they're never going to know. And then their kids, they're going to teach their kids this bullshit. and their kids are going to be waiting, and then they're going to die, and they're going to teach their kids, and they're going to be waiting, and they're going to die, and it's just going to keep going. And they're always going to be waiting, and nothing is ever going to change because they will always be waiting for something outside of them versus taking action. And if the whole people would realize that shit and take action, you could change. And there's like everybody that preached that message ended up dying, right? Everybody that wanted that type of change was either painted as some type of bad person or they ended up dying. Because whoever the world leaders are and the government officials, they want this. They want people broke. They want people poor. They want people homeless. That's why they can divide the shit up and put price tags on some shit that they don't own. Nobody owns the water. Nobody owns the fucking apples, the fucking trees, the fucking land. How do you say you own that? Who are you to say you own that? That shit is from the earth. It's for the people. The earth is for the people, not the government. So get them the fuck out of here and let's get back to originally how we're supposed to be living on this earth. Damn. Turn me up. Fuck. Yeah, so I mean, look, I know I said a lot. And maybe you might have to listen to this video a couple times, and I hope that it made sense. I'm going to listen to it back too. But if you take anything from this video, and I know it's going to sound fucking cliche, I know, but just listen, okay? Be the change you want to be. Don't wait for anything outside of you. Or hold on, let me say that again. Be the change you want to see, okay? Be the change you want to see. Don't wait for anything outside of you. Because you are the creator of your life. So take responsibility. Religion teaches you to not take responsibility. When you take responsibility for your life and your actions, it's tough, right? Because you got to be real. You have to be real with yourself. And you got to look in the mirror and accept what the mirror is giving you. The mirror is not going to lie. The mirror is going to show you a real reflection of you. So take the responsibility to look in the mirror and make the necessary changes. If you were to really look in a mirror, and you had ketchup on your face, and your hair was fucked up, you wouldn't just look and then be like, okay, bet, and then walk out the house. You would wipe that shit off, you would comb your hair, you would make yourself presentable to go out. You would never look in the mirror and be like, well, if Bob hadn't been smacking so hard, I wouldn't have got ketchup on my face. That's the equivalent to waiting for Jesus. You have to make them changes within yourself. JW turn G.